excited to be here for a very special road show. We're doing it at New Jersey Pinball Factory. We got guests, myself, Jack, playing one of those new machines every day in Holland. Super excited. Jack is going to battle us for a tutorial. We're going to review it. And if that's not enough, we've got
you know, even though we're building a future football, it's going to be checklist. We'll find that. Let's go. First place. Let's go watch the Wires.
Yeah.
Some bunch of guys in there really nicely.
Yeah, you know, some live streaming Dirks did that.
So let's go into the cost of fun.
Let's check it out.
One thing we could do, Sarah, is a lot of garbage. So,
a lot of cardboard boxes too. Look at all this.
Well, that's stuff that's.
Oh, look at these are
Look
the
at
good
this.
cardboard boxes right here.
This is it. There you go.
These are all ready to ship. There's all teams over there. We're building 15, 16, 17 hobbits a day.
Nice.
So it's pretty good. We're over 300 for the month. So, and we're ramping up. This is about 60 people. And I'll show you just set up.
All right.
Hardware itself, things like that. Other than that, everything is made for us. So you come through and you just go down the aisles. This is a real hub of activity during the day. There's a lot going on in here. There's a lot of moving parts, as we say.
Literally.
In here, and a lot of people working on all kinds of stuff in here. You know. What happens, they'll do what's called a pick. So they'll pick X amount of games worth of parts and they'll bring it out to the factory floor. In our system, there'll be like, it's almost two warehouses. There's one warehouse that we call, you know, parts, all right, and production. So they'll know how many parts they have here. If they brought you out 100 or something to make 100 games, you shouldn't run out until you made 100 games. If you ran out and somebody didn't run out, we have to go figure out what happened. You can see it at IKEA. So what this does for us, and we do get cabinets that are assembled as well, but what this does for us, it saves on some transportation, it saves on some space. Depending on what we're building for the week, we'll build that many cabinets, and we have a good chance to control the quality of the build, and then we decal those cabinets on this side. So, you know, had this been yesterday, you'd see people here decaling cabinets in this area.
And you have like all different decals that you use, right?
Yeah. So
what's the difference between all the different decals?
well, so you know, you'll have decals for LED games. You know, the decal is the same. And then the body, this is for snout, gold game. And then you'll have our radicals, which are pretty cool. So you see what this is, and you feel it. Here.
Okay.
You know, two sides of body and head and the front. And even if you did it aftermarket, you could actually put this right over your cabinet. You could put this on. We had some customers that finally saw in person what the radicals were, and they were upset that they didn't get radicals. So some people have bought them afterwards, but now that people are understanding what these are and they're really well worth, money kind of thing, we're getting a lot of people buying radicals. We're also getting a lot of people buying playfield protectors.
This is cool. Can you put that back on to show the edge? So, like, a lot of times when you think about like installing decals on a pinball machine, you got to worry about like taking all the hardware off, but these fit like right around, so you don't have to take the legs off or any of that.
Right. And you probably want to apply these wet. If you see them applying them here, they have the spray bottles. They'll apply them wet. They'll squeegee them with the squeegees, and they'll go through. They hang these up. Thankfully, we don't have much of a waste. Job our people do. It's an amazing commitment. So, in this area, if you were here in about a month, probably September 17th, when you guys come back for open house, you'll certainly see this line more populated, more parts, and Wizard of Oz games. We expect to build about 25 Wizard of Oz games a week. We could ramp it up a little bit more, or we could go a little bit down, but since we have this back order situation now, I don't want to have 10 weeks worth of back orders. We'll probably step it up and add more people and ramp it up. So I expect that this year, if we're building, let's say, 350 Hobbits a month, you have August, September, October, November, December, and then you have probably September, October, November, December with Hobbit, so with Wizard of Oz. So you have a lot of games coming. You have a lot of games coming. And then, in the springtime, we'll get into game number 3 when we produce game number 3. There's a little problem over there, so
I'll take that one home if you guys don't want.
Yeah, right. Right?
and then they'll take this jig, okay? And this jig, the first thing they'll be doing is they'll be T-nutting it. So if you grab a hammer, not that one, and you grab the tool, there's a guide tool, right? So it's this tool that we actually made, and you have a T-nut, and you put that in there, and you're gonna wrap that in, and you're gonna drive that down the whole way. So this is some pretty hard wood. So you're gonna drive that in the whole way, and when that's done, you're gonna take this jig off, and you're gonna flip the playfield. All playfields, we don't have any. They come complete, which means that they have all the spotting on it. And then what happens, these other workstations, something that people kind of don't realize, everything you work on, you're not holding something in your hand, screwing it together, or anything like that. You need to build a fixture to hold it. So these are fixtures for our ramps, and all of the parts that get built, you have to actually calculate out how you're going to build these things. And we have a really great engineer, his name is Roger, and he's in support of this factory, and he's got a shop bot back there, and he does a lot of tool support. He does 100 different things. We have a lot of specialists, but we have a lot of people that multitask in a lot of different specialties. So it's pretty cool. Of the assembly line that are here. So you wouldn't have something there that's feeding, station 14. So in this area, they might be taking it apart. There's also people working on different things here, where if you come on this side, you see a whole cart full of plastic sets that are all broken up, right? And this whole pallet, it's all plastic sets. So somebody's job, aside from doing other things, are actually to take these plastic sets apart, break them up, So here, you know what? Everybody gets a sword.
Yeah.
All right? Here's your gift from the
Sweet.
factory.
Look at that.
floor, okay?
Awesome.
Here you go. Just don't stick me with it. Plus, it's probably good if you had a martini. Maybe you want to put it through an olive with blue cheese in it. I don't know. I've never tried that, but you know. So now, if anybody attacks us, if those goblin heads or anything comes, we got or Pokemon. Or whatever. So whoever gets that game,
Little something extra.
maybe they'll notice it, maybe they won't notice it. At some point, 30 years from now, somebody will say, I don't know, there's knucklehead signed my game, he made it worth less money. And as we come down here, you'll see, subways, all the extra parts. At this point, there's 97 solid connections that are made on the game. And really, you know, our games, it's kind of funny. In a lot of games, you know, we're fixing electromechanical machines for a long time. Everything in the game is soldered, you know, an electromechanical machine. You see this whole mass of, you know, wires, relays, all that kind of stuff, switches. On this game, we're using plugs on all these boards, so you have these Hiroshi stuff, and these all get tested, and then the drop card banks. So here's a simple.
That's C-Smart. Yeah, I was watching on there too.
Yeah.
Watching all that.
Thank
You
stuff.
could watch in real life.
Here's a simple 3-bank drop card.
You're like, no, I'm good. I'm a millennial. What did you say?
It's pretty heavy, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty heavy because you have, you know, you have 2 coils on each, on each, and that's only a 3. The 5 is a little bit more. This is
Say
a 5.
individual
This is a
coil
5.
racks up.
Door.
So there's a 5. And nobody's done that way, where you can make those targets dance.
And these are moving a lot. Like
They're moving a lot, and I want to explain something after about the springs on here. I want to talk for a minute or two about what we've done to beef up our games too, in light of having some issues with games in the field. Because everybody knows.
Fruity, 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 fruity.
Like your soundboard, your motherboard, and all the connections, everything that you need. Whoever worked on this cabinet, there's a whole list of who worked on it, what it is. These are kept, you know, it'll be in your permanent record.
Right.
So, these are kept as a permanent physical record, but they're all scanned. We keep all the stuff on the internet in a secure site so that anybody in the company needs to access game number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Who worked on what type of monitor is it, what type of computer is it, what type this, what type that. Because you need to track all that stuff, because even years from now or a week from now, if the game develops an issue, those are questions that you'd like answered. Maybe you have to address something with the vendor, or maybe you have to address something with who did it or whatever it is. You know, when you just have to track that. It's being responsible. The Wizard of Oz was, you know, a typical Class A pinball machine. What that means is that it was certified.
Hell no, to the no, no, no. Hell to the no, hell to the no, to the no, no, no. Listen.
You have this amazing LCD. You have a lot of options in doing things that really could support the services that you need. Not just your matrix switches, but your dedicated switches, your single switches, and those things will come up. They'll be listed right on the playfield where they are. It'll tell you what color they are. It'll tell you what connector they're on. If you get into, let me get out of that. So if you get into your coils, if you go through this exercise and you did like
looks like it's from the century.
right. So now if it's cycling through, it'll pull up all those coils. It'll show you on the map, the playfield map, where they are. It'll tell you what color wires they are, what connector they are, what driver transistor works them, how many volts it is, what fuse is involved with. It'll tell you everything. onboard manual just how Wizard of Oz has it. The USB update, when you put that in, you're going to push the button. Backup settings. Vernon is going to go through a routine.
Welcome, Master Baggins.
And it's going to exercise everything again. Hardware info. And really, what you have also, remember our games are running on a dongle. So the dongle, you know, there may be a day where we're downloading software to your game by choice. You might choose to do that.
Like over the internet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Over the internet. And what the good thing is, the dongle dictates what your game is. It knows if your game is a Smaug, it knows if your game is an Emerald City Limited Edition or 75th Anniversary. It knows the game number, it knows a lot of things, it knows what country it went to, it knows all that. So if we have a download only for our 75th Anniversary,
Like a
an
plastic
insert.
kind of thing.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, here it is. So these plastic inserts, they're on all our games now, and they're going to be part of a Hobbit update kit that we're giving everybody for free. So there'll be an instruction sheet. There'll be 4 of these and 8 screws. You have to pull out your beast mechs and put these in. So, you know, it took a little bit to design these. We made one style because, you know, the warg, he's got a big nose like me. So we had to put like a notch in it, so at least this works in all of them, right? There's another thing we did. If you look at this ramp on the left side, okay, so originally the design of it
Oh yeah, it's got that rail that goes
was,
down the side.
I guess you would say, a little less elegant or a little different, let's say, okay? So what happened, I'm sorry, man. So what happened was right in this spot, the ball would get stuck. And it would get stuck. A drop target. This is what pretty much standard kind of spring is. Well, if you had a game and your drop targets weren't used in the amount of use that these get, this spring would be great. But guess what? We had to actually make this spring. So this spring is longer and it's a lot beefier. So what we're doing is we're going to send you 12 of these springs, and we ask that you change all of the springs on your drop targets at the same time. Okay, think of this as a few light bulbs in a light fixture. You know, one bulb goes out in a 3-bulb light fixture. Guess what? Change all 3 bulbs, because you're going to be climbing that ladder tomorrow or the next day. So you have to do a little PM. We're going to give you 1 extra spring. Not that it's going to kill me to give you 1 extra, but I figure if it flies off and hits you in the eye, at least with your other eye, you could go find the royal spring. Just be careful when you change it. Not a big deal.
Germany.
Germany is a wonderful place for pinball. Everybody loves pinball. In this area right now, what would be here is a row of games. Those games on Monday will work their way over here, and they'll get boxed. And this is backlash that just came in, or just came from the back to the front. They'll put the Invisiglass on the game. They'll clean everything. They'll prep everything. They'll pick what line cord goes in there. They'll make up a box that's set up for, you know, whether it's going to Europe, whether it's going to US, whether it's going, you know, wherever it's going in the world. And then they'll box the games here. And like I said, they'll do, you know, 15, 20 games a day. And this box, talking about the weight of the game weighs about 350 pounds. And, you know, other pinball machines in the marketplace, like Medieval at the building right now, and that game you can lift with 1 hand. It's probably about 2 to 30. Wood rail, and you put them into these areas. You put the playfield face down. You get your screw gun, and your screws, you screw it all in, and it winds up, this is what it comes out looking like. This is your hanging sample. So at every station, you have a hanging sample that really reinforces maybe what you forgot. Now, all the people here, they're all cross-trained on different areas. So, you know, Monday might be a beautiful beach day. Maybe somebody has a little tummy ache and they can't come in or something. You know, it might be at the beach. We don't really get people like that. But in case they did, somebody's able to take their place or whatever like that. So it's pretty cool. This next station is where the back panel is fixed. So it would be these metal brackets, on this. They go on this one. And then they would wind up on one of our rotisseries right there. So here's game A15. You know, we stamped them all. So this is Pinball A15. There were some prototype games made before that. Every game will have a travel sheet, and at every station somebody will check it. So here, this game is going to Australia, 220 volts. It gets a playfield protector. It's a Smaug Radcals, and this customer bought an extra red Smaug toy. So even though they're getting a gold Smaug because it's a gold game, they want a red toy. God bless them. That's fine. I mean, we sell everything nobody needs, so why not sell more of what everybody nobody needs?
That's right. That's what pinball's all about.
At these stations behind you, they'll be building sub-assemblies. So the basic parts for these sub-assemblies, these are, what do you think they're building here, looking at those metal parts? These
Oh, there you go.
Wow.
So you can work out with these. You know,
Martha's the only one that actually works out, so.
you know. Well, you guys chug beers and live pizza.
Oh,
We had this
You know,
discussion on the ride
he's a
down.
spider.
Yeah.
He's your friend, right?
Right.
Yeah,
Steve?
yeah. This